holiday weekend was over, and here at my haunted hotel, we were preparing for an extremely busy week as more guests from across the UK were hoping to experience the famous paranormal activity here. The darker nights were rolling in, October was just a month away, and we were ready for the first guests of the week.
It is the start of a new week. I still feel a little bit rough. Me and Danny went out on the weekend, still feeling it, 3-day hangover. But I'm ready to go, start of the week. Last week was really interesting, plenty of stuff happened. So I want to kind of see whether we get any more of that this week. The banging we heard last week was just incredible. Some of the loudest, clearest knocks we've ever heard. Clear as day on the doors as well. I think I can just about get through tonight.
Last week we came back with a bang. It was unbelievable, and I think for me one of the clearest things, besides the incredible DVP we were getting in this room, the brothel section, was the full spectrum capture of this black mass appearing right next to Brett. It actually leaves an indent on his shoulder, and it has an electrical current running through it. Never seen anything like that before, but it was very interesting. And the fact that we tried to get the guests to debunk it on the night, we spent a long time trying to come up with a rational explanation behind that. We just couldn't find one.
A busy week with 4 nights of guests in the hotel this week. Is this the key to what makes activity happen in this building? We don't know. But the more and more people that seem to congregate here, especially in this building in the brothel section, the more and more stuff seems to happen. So I want to see whether or not the more people that come in means the more we're going to get back off the spirits in this building.
I think it's about time we brought Lady Snake back into the building. You'll have seen me last week calling out about what the witch did here, referring to, of course, Lady Snake, and when she came here before we opened. And that is when this clear female DVP came through right here in the brothel section and asked who we were. Who are you? One of the clearest things I've ever heard. And for everybody watching the show, it's one thing seeing that on your TV screen or on your phone or tablet or whatever you're watching on, but to actually be here in person and hear a voice clear as day, like somebody is in the room with you, I really cannot describe how that feels. And this is another reason why people need to come here and experience this for themselves, because when you capture evidence like that, it just makes you truly believe in what is going on here at my haunted hotel.
Unfortunately, Harry isn't with us tonight. He is a little bit ill. He did show his face about half an hour ago and was like, yeah, I'm ready to go, guys, but he was not okay. So we have sent him back to bed for tonight. He's got to rest up, and we will power on through and find the best evidence we possibly can. But unfortunately, he's going to miss it, but you at home will not. Everything is caught on cameras. So we're starting our week here at my haunted hotel. We have 3 people staying in room 6. Now these guys have been on a lot of paranormal investigations. We'll see how they interpret. I know they have a lot of their own ways of investigating as well, which will be quite interesting. I'm quite excited to see how tonight sort of mashes together with our style of investigating and these guys.
Yeah, well, they've openly said here that they don't watch the episodes. They wanted to come with their own open mind, but they have declared as well that all 3 of them are sensitives, which basically in the paranormal means that they are open to seeing stuff and hearing stuff. I think maybe one of them classes themselves as a medium. So what I'll be particularly wanting to do tonight, as I'm quite a skeptical investigator, as are you, is wanting to see if what they pick up on can be triangulated with other evidence.
Oh yeah, if one of them comes out with some random name that we all know because we've seen the episodes, then that would be great. Because these guys have no idea about my haunted hotel. They were told about it, they booked it, and they specifically have not watched a single episode because they wanted to come in completely open.
So much for the kids' room. Well, there goes my night's sleep.
No, that's Lisa's bed.
Do you want to sleep on your own or would you like to share?
I'm not for been sleeping with Eleanor.
You could share with either me or Mum.
As the three ladies begin investigating room 6 with very traditional methods, suddenly Brett notices something in room 5, which has not happened for almost 3 weeks.
The doll's gone in room 5.
Oh,
When did that go?
play that back.
How long's that been stood there now?
That's not happened for 2-3 weeks.
We asked the guests to move straight into room 5 to see if they can build on this event.
So the guys are now in room 5 and they're doing, I think it's called crystal divination. Basically, they have a little crystal on the end of a chain, and they're using that as a sort of yes or no to answer questions. And the theory is that it is moved by spirits. Now, I'm not a big believer in this stuff. I know you're not, but we could try to validate this a little bit by seeing if we can triangulate evidence by using other things at the same time. Like, I don't want to say that any version of an investigation is invalid, but we could try and see whether, that could prove something else. If we can get a definite answer on, say, an ITC device, and then also that at the same time, it might validate it a little bit more.
Look, I think the thing is here, and I'm pretty sure our viewers will agree, that people want to see hard evidence come out of this building, which we have been blessed with, things like DVP and poltergeist activity. This is hard evidence. Things that are effectively manipulated by the human touch can't really be classed as hard evidence, and no scientist would ever back that theory, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
However, people are free to investigate the way they want to, and we can't say that it's impossible to not get evidence that way. So we have to spin it on both versions. What we're just saying that we like to work with the hard evidence that comes out of this building, in which there is plenty of.
Every holiday you celebrate is stolen from mine.
Sally, you're having an argument with a doll. She's not going to...
Yes,
They
I
do
know.
understand. She's fine. I know she understands, but...
So anyone
We're in
mother's
the kiddie
tent,
room. Fair enough.
You know what you're not doing, don't you? Yeah, you were made by some nun or something somewhere to influence a little girl, trying to tell her that God is great and the devil is all things bad, and if you're naughty you'll go to hell. All I can say is that's where I want to go, because that's where all the fun's going to be.
She's having a religious argument with the
They do
doll.
understand. She's fine. I know she understands, but... We're in the kiddie room.
Something bizarre is happening here at my haunted hotel, which never happens. The guests want to wander the corridor to see which room they feel they're being drawn to, if that makes sense.
Okay.
They've chosen a room.
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. Who's home in here? Who's got my phone? I've got your phone, so you've got the torch. I do have the torch. Right, where's that? Ta-da! I'll read, but I'm not saying anything to you.
there's another walkie-talkie.
I bet the other guys are supposed to be in it.
You were meant to feel it.
I wasn't meant to feel it.
No.
She should try harder. She's a really bad pickpocket if that's the case. No wonder why she got in trouble. But she couldn't even do her job properly. And by the look on your face, she's giving a bit of lip behind me. But she's not talking to me. She wants my stone, but she's not talking to me.
What is going on?
The guests move from room to room, and both Brett and I are left slightly confused in the control room.
I think that smell. You
Run.
go that far through the town? No. Name beginning with N. Yeah.
Is there a deaf ghost? Have we missed something?
Okay.
We might need to go back. They might be talking to a deaf ghost.
Accident? Or was it on purpose?
As hours go by, nothing that we can deem to be hard evidence is captured, and Brett and I do not get involved in the investigation. I attempt to take pictures on the full spectrum camera on the middle floor.
Right now I'm going to conduct an experiment, and I'm going to do this every night that we're in this week, and that is to take a selection of full spectrum pictures in the brothel section, heading out into the function room, because that is where the famous shadow figure picture was captured. So I'm just going to spend 10 minutes doing that. If we capture anything, we'll of course show you. But yeah, this is back to being quiet. However, the guests are picking up on 3,000 different entities. It's
Yeah, from their standpoint, they're saying their experience so far has been really good, which is great. Unfortunately, none of that is coming across where we're hearing things on camera and seeing things like we normally do. So we'll have to just see how the rest of the night pans out. We've still got a couple hours yet.
I capture nothing on the full spectrum camera, and we capture nothing on the building's cameras. Brett and I call it a night.
Well, it's been a very quiet night. One thing is for sure, is we do think that there is a certain type of investigation that works here. A couple of instances now, we've let things kind of happen. We've had people come in and investigate slightly differently, using more traditional techniques, and they do work, but that seems to be the only thing that does work. We've not been getting movement of objects, loud bangs, voices. The stuff that we almost know My Haunted Hotel for has not happened at all tonight. We've let it kind of run a different style of investigation tonight to see how it would look, and I just don't think it's worked that well. The guys have had a great night. They're still picking up on stuff upstairs now. But in terms of the hard evidence that we all know and see every week at My Haunted Hotel, it just hasn't happened.
well, this has been really slow tonight. In all honesty, we haven't captured anything that we would deem to be evidence of the paranormal on camera. The guests are very what I would call old school traditional methods. They use pendulums, they pick up on feelings, they've had conversations.
Oh, funny.
Oh God, sorry about that. Wow, look, yeah, so we haven't caught anything on camera tonight that we can deem to be hard evidence. All the, as Brett said, all the banging, the knocking, the footsteps that we hear. I think the doll going is probably the only thing, and that's really interesting because it hasn't gone for weeks. Look, people investigate in different ways, and that is absolutely fantastic. These guys have been more what we call traditional tonight. They've used pendulums. They've picked up on what they believe to be in the room. It's very difficult for us, though, to try and prove that on camera. I'm not really sure what else I can say.
It's Tuesday at the hotel, and we have 3 rooms booked in. We have Janine and Lottie returning for their 4th time, and we also have Tom, who leads ghost tours in the city. tonight was a chance to conduct experiments that have worked for us over the last few weeks and months.
What is going on, guys? We are here, Tuesday night, My Haunted Hotel. Brett and I are shattered. Shattered.
Yeah, I am tired.
Wanted to emphasise the word shattered. Sproggy Achilleos still isn't here. Sproggy Achilleos.
Yeah, okay.
Stelios, is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
We wish him all the best, but he's still ill, unfortunately. We've got an absolute crew of fellas in tonight.
We do. Two of them are history tour guides from the Chester area, which is very cool. So they'll know quite a bit about the history of Chester in general, which might come in handy. Our other guests are the lovely Janine and Lottie on their 4th visit.
Their 4,000th visit.
They are staying in room 6. The other guys are staying in rooms 3 and 5. So it should be an interesting night. I'm looking forward to this.
Well, I'm sure it will be different to last night.
Yes.
Here we go, Dad.
Oh dear, it's hilarious, isn't it?
Did you expect this, or
No, this is pretty mad, isn't it?
do you think I'm a bit mental?
That is weird, is that a mirror?
They're all mirrors, Dad. Look, all over the room.
Dear me. It's going to be a mad.
Are you okay sleeping aside with a stuffed budgie?
I don't give a
You're going to say to you about a camera? Yeah. Should I use that? Yeah. Why not? She'll take some pictures now and see what you think, when it pops up, and then it pops up and... Not really.
I do realise I don't like this. It looks darker than usual. Oh, I'm just going to take a photo. Centre. Right. Which way do you want one? I'll have the little one again.
Look at that.
Is that a Bible?
I think so.
Alright, we'll put that there.
You can,
I'll get ready for bed. What?
yeah.
Oh, that's what we're here for, haven't we?
Yeah, well, not now. It's the beginning, isn't it,
Yeah.
Dad?
But look, what I want to do is,
Yeah.
I've got a load of change in my pocket. This is really cunning.
Jingle it
Yes, no. I'm going to put it in there.
in there.
So if it starts ringing, give me like someone's trying to nick me money, so I can get up and hit them. Right? Fair enough, look.
Deary me, yeah.
We've got to be prepared.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on this, Dad.
That's all right.
You don't mind, do you?
No, we'll soon know in the morning. Yes,
Oh,
it
dear.
is. I won't kiss you because I've had nuts.
No.
Yes.
It's been the first 25 minutes, half an hour of the investigation. They're sort of settled in their rooms. Don't think they've experienced anything yet. We think we've heard a couple of creaks, but they're probably debunkable. However, we've got to talk about Tom and his dad in room 3. They are melting my heart. They're absolutely adorable. He's like giving him hugs and saying thank you so much for coming. When Danny went up to get a camera, he said as he left, "Oh, I've seen them boys. They're on the YouTubes. They're famous." And what an amazing guy.
Yeah. And you know what? I've got a good feeling about tonight. There's a feel-good atmosphere in this building.
Yeah, there is. I think something's going to happen. And if not, we're just going to have a good laugh tonight. It's going to be a good night regardless.
Our predictions come true as less than an hour into the investigation, 2 events happen. The first of these occur in the corridor outside of room 6. Janine had placed a REM device on the corridor at the beginning of the investigation, and as Lottie hears footsteps, this device picks up on something.
Right, to open one.
I told you. Did I hear footsteps? What's going on? I told you I heard footsteps.
Did you hear that? Hello, receiving.
Something really weird's just happened. Oh, something just happened in room 3. He's going to come through.
Oh, we're not on his thing. Hold on.
3.
Well, what the hell's going on?
We then move Janine and Lottie into room 3, as Tom and Kevin move into room 5. Mike and Craig head to room 6.
Go on, you know you can't resist it.
Stop it, Brett.
Oh, good as well.
Don't you...
You better be going to make tea so I can dunk these in.
Things seem quiet, but all of a sudden, Tom decides to move the famous doll in room 5. Moments later, this seems to have an effect.
You get a bit of vibration and she falls on top, yeah?
Oh, it's fine. She'll be okay.
You've got to piss yourself, yeah.
Hey, if it prompts anything, who knows? Danny, did you hear that?
Yes, guys, we're watching.
We just had a bang from outside room 5. I have literally only just put the doll on top of the beam to see if it makes anything happen, and it's happened about a minute after.
Tom moved the doll, the famous doll in room 5. He placed her on top of the beam. Not sure why he did that, but within 2 minutes there was banging heard outside of room 5, which we've had before.
Yeah, even last week, I believe.
Yeah.
We've now sent Janine and Lottie into room 5 with them. Now, we know from previous episodes that Janine and Lottie have been absolutely petrified by this doll in room 5. So what we've got them to do is set up a couple of bits of equipment around. They've got a REM pod sat in the tent. We now want to see whether this investigation kind of ramps up after whatever they've done with this doll. I think the doll is now in the pram.
Yeah, we're going to see if the pram moves. This is going to be really interesting. I'm excited.
Oh. Can you do that again? If you're still in the room, can you do that again? Thank you.
Should we radio or there?
Carol said, I just set something off, felt something. So she said it was a man who said, she described him, and I said, well, that's the victim.
If you're still in the room, can you do that again? Thank you. That's like on command as well.
That was like a direct answer.
Oh, keep it going.
Can you do it again for us, please? Thank you.
Can we ask them questions or? It's best way.
You can. I'll ask a question.
Are you one of the children that was in this room? Are you Sarah or Billy? Knock once for Billy on the wall and twice for Sarah. If your name is Billy and you're here, can you knock on the wall once? If you're Sarah and you're here, can you knock on the wall twice? If you're someone else, can you knock 3 times?
Are you still in the room? Thank you.
This is pure intelligence, Brett.
It's answering them better than I would.
Can you make that noise again? Thank you. Are you a man? Thank you. Are you father of the children? Is your name Charles?
Is your name Randall Holm?
Do you know the secrets of this building? Thank you.
Did something horrible happen in the room behind us, behind the wall?
Oh. Knock.
That thing, something came from back there as well, didn't it?
There's a knock and, yeah, definite knock.
Yeah.
Did someone die in that room? If so, knock on the wall again.
Oh, thank you. Is there a child buried in that room? Thank you.
Oh my god. This seemed to be a breakthrough session, as disturbances around the REM device appeared to be answering questions on demand, and may have again confirmed our theory that a child was buried in this part of the building. Things fall quiet, and we move the guests again.
Wow, that's amazing. What's your shout?
Can you move something?
Spike? Yeah, there's a spike.
Thank you. Can you do that again?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Small spikes on Janine and Lottie's EMF detector, but things appear to be very quiet. All of a sudden, 2 events are about to happen in room 2, which will provide us with yet more compelling evidence.
Can you do something else? Thank you.
God. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you do that again?
God.
Oh my god, guys, you're getting this. Oh my god, guys, you're getting this.
Yes, we're getting it. What the hell was that?
Thank you.
Did you hear that?
Sounds like a baby.
Yeah, I just heard a baby. I just heard a baby cry.
I did.
As Janine and Lottie claim to have heard a baby cry, Brett and I are about to go into full investigation mode as we do everything we can to debunk this audio. Eventually, we manage to pinpoint where this noise comes from, and we are shocked to find it only occurs on one camera, the main corridor. And this is not a baby crying, but a female crying out.
This is the bit that you do not see on the show. This is us slogging through camera footage endlessly, trying to triangulate exactly.
That's taken us 27 minutes.
So we heard this baby crying according to room 2. We couldn't hear it on room 2, so we checked the corridor, we checked room 3, we checked room 4, we've checked room 5, 6, 1.
Front of the building.
Made sure nobody was outside the front of the building.
Radioed the guys in the bar.
Yeah, who are all downstairs. The 4 other guys are downstairs. We've checked whether they've heard anyone outside that maybe we missed on the camera. Nothing. What sounds like a woman wailing of some sort.
Do you know what it sounds like? I'll just be completely honest here. Ow! Janine, Lottie, you both heard what you thought was a baby cry in room 2, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, back us up. How long has it taken Brett and I to try and debunk this footage? Really,
That's what I call after half an hour of it. I definitely call it fuckage.
Yeah, a long time.
It's got to be half an hour.
Now, guys, I called down to you to see if you could debunk it as well, and to see if you heard any noise from the street outside, and you confirmed there was nothing.
No, nothing.
Okay, here we go. I am about to play the footage.
Okay, so we've got the guys in room 2, you'll see these look over. This is the audio playing in the corridor. Unbelievable.
Okay, I'm going to play that back again. Hear a lady.
Our final session of Tuesday's investigation saw us gather in the brothel section. Again, I would use the full spectrum camera in an attempt to capture visual evidence, but the building fell completely dormant. These final stages provided no evidence via the Hertz frequency or the Intravox experiments.
Found it really fascinating.
Absolutely.
Actually.
Well,
yeah.
Not only what's been happening tonight, but I've been here before as well, and every time I'm here something happens, so you just never know what you're going to get. Yeah, we've witnessed a few knocks. So when we were first in our room, in room 3, I was staring into a mirror and unexpectedly just felt a knock almost sort of on the floor next to where my feet were, and couldn't explain that. You've had a very eerie feeling, haven't you, in the
every
ladies'
time I
toilets?
go in the ladies' toilets, I've been in there 3 times, and it feels very cold, and as I said, it just feels so weird. You know, as soon as you come out there, it's normal, but it's say 3 times I've been in there, and I'm pretty sure there's something in there because it just had that feeling.
Maybe ladies just don't want us in their toilets.
I don't know.
I say some of the experiments we've done, I've never actually seen done before.
No, same here.
So it's very much all the technical sort of terminology is lost on us a bit, but it's very much the fact you can pick up different frequencies, and certain things will just happen to appear. And I mean, some of the standard stuff is very much been me just talking to the room because I'm a lonely person. But actually using the equipment, it kind of brings it to life a bit more.
Yeah.
What I've had the last 2 times I've stayed overnight, I have actually been woken up by heavy footsteps in the corridor with doors slamming, and I've gone to check, and there's no way you can get across that corridor. Even if you're trying to prank someone, you would hear them, because every single floorboard creaks, and the fact that can wake you up, I mean, I'm kind of expecting that tonight. If an actual figure could appear, that'd be amazing, as long as there's not a banshee telling us we're going to die. That's the main thing. But I mean, anything like that, an actual apparition. But again,
and if we see an apparition, we've just died under the covers.
Yeah. Well, basically, I don't run the tours myself, so I can't speak on behalf of the Chester Ghost Tour Company. However, I have done this along with my colleague Mike in the name of research, so that we can include it on our tours. Whenever we bring people to outside the King's Head, I always include my stories. I even include a shot from the first time I was here, a very fuzzy image of room 5, and it always gets people excited. And any way we can obviously
get people in,
actually use our own experiences, it brings it to life, it enhances experiences, and in a way, we're all in it for the same thing. We're all here to help each other out and to bring tourists to Chester, so we just absolutely love it.
And obviously people that have actually been here have been back, as we know, so it's a regular thing, so it must be legit in that aspect, because people will keep coming back.
And I just want to say that if you're out there, you definitely do want a haunted building. As a hardcore skeptic, I can tell you there is something definitely not right here.
I found tonight quite interesting.
Very interesting.
I think being in a room with dolls was a bit disturbing at first, but then I began to feel quite at home with them. The room I found that affected me the most was room 6.
Mm-hmm.
When we went into room 6, I felt like a heaviness, that sort of like an ache through my bones, and I wouldn't say a headache, but that kind of pressure, like a lift pressure. So that was the only room I felt anything really deeply in.
It's quite strange, isn't it, how different rooms, different parts of the building have a different effect on different people.
A different flavour.
Yeah, I didn't feel that in room 6 particularly, but I did. So I think I felt it more down here actually than upstairs.
In ladies' toilets, you said.
Ladies' toilets, yeah, absolutely. So different rooms obviously have a different effect on different people. I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah,
bit of
footage of the streaming.
Yeah, definitely.
It's quite interesting.
Especially given the fact that there was a lot of attempts to debunk it.
And it's quite quiet tonight on the roads.
It is quiet.
There were no like Saturday night. You might get a lot of people, drunks and everything. There's nobody really out, wasn't there?
No. So I think the fact that it was tried to be debunked quite as much as it was is a good thing.
Best.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Definitely come and visit again.
I like the experiments. It's always interesting to apply a scientific technique to this kind of phenomena and look at it from that kind of point of view. I'd like to know more about things like, do you believe that whether they're earthbound spirits, or are they in visitation, or are they time reverberations, pools of time or something, energy pools? So I'd like to know more about that kind of the theory of it all, as to what you think's going on, or whether all the phenomena is the same. When there could be different. Some of it could be pools of energy, some of it could be spirits in visitation, and some of it could be earthbound spirit. So I'd be quite interested to hear that. So it's triggered something. Yeah, I'm quite interested.
That was a long night. Me and Danny spent a lot of time tonight trying absolutely everything we could to debunk everything. Tonight, I feel for the first time like a real paranormal investigator. We spent a long time trawling through cameras and everything, and it is proof that this building is just perfect for that. We spent half an hour trawling through all these cameras trying to work out what on earth this weird woman crying or screaming noise was. We tried absolutely everything to work out what it could possibly be, and finally, after a long time, we deemed it could be paranormal. I think otherwise the rest of the night has been fairly quiet. We did have some really good moments that seemed to be intelligent responses. So we're going to look that back and see if we get some good answered questions that might further the story of this building as well.
I think tonight, for the first time, felt like I'd gone back to the past when I used to do call-out investigations. I'd spend hours going through footage trying to find every slight explanation for what goes on. I just think we've become very used to what goes on here, and we just deem it paranormal straight away, because in all honesty it is. When you hear babies crying and when you hear women's voices saying "who are you" and all these unexplained bangs, I just think that we've been blessed with so much activity here. But I think Brett and I were on a mission tonight to really think, hang on a minute, what is this voice that Janine and Lottie heard? But it's paranormal, it's not normal. Amazing moments again tonight, and a complete change from last night. This building really did come alive again. Huge knocks, intelligent responses via the REM pod. Janine and Lottie again heard a very weird scratching, dragging sound in room 2, which is just so sinister. I'm not here tomorrow night. Brett and Harry are going to cover it. I'm back on Thursday, so it'd be interesting to catch up on Thursday and find out what happens tomorrow night, and whether it carries on from tonight, because tonight has been pretty active.
Wednesday night was covered by Harry and Brett, and there were some standout moments for the guests, Ali and Jade, who were visiting for their first time. Watch closely as these events unfold.
You okay, Joey? Sorry, I'm going to close it over there, okay? Do you want the radio? Is you there, anything? Yeah, is you there, anything? Close it over, okay? Won't lock it. Just closed it over, there we go.
Alan, is that you?
No, I haven't done nothing.
You're lying.
I'm sat on the bed.
Thank you.
What was it?
Someone knocking behind me.
Shut up.
are you?
Harry and Brett challenge the girls to move from room to room. They send Ali into room 2, where she arms the SC6 spirit box, and within seconds, a child's voice can be heard. The pesky cuckoo clock strikes again, but as this is happening upstairs, something strange is about to be captured downstairs in the bar, which is completely empty, as you can see here. Watch our till camera, and you can clearly see something move in the reflection. This is not picked up on any of the other cameras in the downstairs bar, and is definitely not coming from outside. Now, upon reviewing the footage further, we are able to debunk this as water droplets sliding down the beer pump, which gives the illusion of a reflection. Unfortunately, nothing more is captured on Wednesday's investigation.
So it's been a really cool week this week. Monday and Tuesday I wasn't here, unfortunately I wasn't well, but I've seen all the footage back and it looks immense. Wednesday last night we had Alison and Jaden, two lovely girls. Really good night. They put a load of effort into it and they got the rewards back. It's kind of, this week's kind of topped off summer for me really. It's blown my mind being here. I was always a bit conscious that the spirits would never play up really as much as I want them to, but in a matter of fact they've probably played up more than I could have ever expected. So yeah, it's been unreal so far. I'm looking forward to spooky season coming. I know October really kicks off, the start of October here, so if you haven't already, book on now.
Welcome back.
Nice to be with you, Dan.
Sproggy Stelios.
Oh, Monday was horrendous. It was horrendous.
Did look pretty bad, to be fair.
Yeah, I wasn't well at all. Don't know what, day bug, food poisoning, not from here. just to say that. Yeah, ill all day Tuesday as well. Felt relatively okay yesterday, but guest picked me up in the night time. Really nice guest. So
last night, obviously, you and Brett were here. I've been through the footage, had a look, some really interesting moments. Looked like a couple of really great guests.
Yeah, I mean, pretty new to the paranormal, to be fair, but put loads of effort in. And as I said, got the rewards when they at the end of the night as well. Didn't get a chance to speak to them this morning. I was run ragged this morning, but I'm hoping they really enjoyed themselves. They said they did last night. So yeah, room 1 was strange last night. They had some big bangs in the secret cupboard. They felt really heavy in there, and they felt most uneasy in room 1 as opposed to the other rooms, which again, you know, it's gone from room 6 to room 5 to room 2. Is it now going to room 1?
There is a presence just seems to be moving around the building, and obviously next week's episode we're going to be interviewing the head chef here, who has also had some pretty weird experiences yesterday evening. Tonight we have 2 fellas in, and they are staying in room 6. One is a massive skeptic, the other one's kind of 50-50. But they've both been keeping up to date with the show, watching the episodes, and they both really want to experience something. But it has been a bit of a crazy week this week. I don't know, let's just see what happens. Guys, I appreciate as well that on this week's episode you're going to just be seeing a load of highlights of what's been going on. Obviously it's been ridiculously busy, and trying to fit it all into sort of a 45-50 minute episode is quite difficult to do, but the build up this week has been pretty awesome, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and again, we're not even into silly season, spooky season really at the moment, so it'd be nice when it's cold again. I love the sun, obviously, but yeah, bring on the cold weather. Feels more spooky, doesn't it?
I agree.
Thursday night's investigation gets underway, and unlike our usual nights, suddenly things start to happen immediately as Gary and Kevin hear very clear footsteps outside of room 6.
Over. Come on. What was that? You hear that?
Footsteps.
What was that?
If that's you, can you do it closer to home?
Go on, do that again.
Fucking hell, not door that.
What's it again?
Rattling not door with that. Do you want my little door open for you? Come in.
What is that noise? What is that, Kev?
You want to come in here? Steps out here.
Come on. What was that? You hear that?
Footsteps.
What was that?
Not long after we moved the guys to room 2 and armed the SC6 spirit box again after the child was heard the night before, we also arm a knocks and bangs indicator due to the sounds heard in this room recently. 10 minutes into the session, something amazing happens.
Are you going to mess about with one of the sleep? No. 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 Yes. So the things put on right.
Oh my god, the thing went off as well. The footstep detector on the side went off. It measured the actual bangs. That is incredible.
Watch closely as our knocks and bangs detector gives us visual confirmation of how powerful these bangs are. What a moment this is. Nothing more happens upstairs, and the guys join us in the brothel section to conduct the Hertz frequency experiment and Intravox experiment.
Please come into this room. That was you. Can you make that noise again?
You can't put it on outside.
Same place.
Despite hearing movements coming from the empty room 5 above us, our cameras do not capture the audio, and just like the previous nights, nothing manifests through the white noise generated by the Intravox device or via the Hertz frequencies. My Haunted Hotel had provided evidence in 3 of the 4 nights this week, but we were no closer to gaining definitive answers such as names and what happened here many years ago. We would return on Monday to do it all over again as our investigation continues. We'll see you soon.